Hello, this is a Jayleshark and Friends
And Russell.
and Russell podcast. And on today's show, it's just me, Jayleshark, and Russell Distance Russell. We are discussing the coronavirus and how everything is really starting to kick off here in Phuket. We'll be throwing out some ideas and how Russell and I can help you, especially if you've got a dog or a small business. So make sure you stay tuned because there's some freebies being given away in this one. We will be having guests next week. I've managed to work out how to record people on the old Skype, which I should have done years ago, and then we wouldn't have to sit with people. But I like the face-to-face stuff. I'm missing that. I'm self-isolating at the moment in my bedroom, recording this on Tuesday morning. The podcast was recorded last Friday, so there are some things out of date. Obviously, things are changing daily with the whole coronavirus. Bottom line is, stay safe, be nice to each other, share the love from distance. Enjoy the show. All right, we'll just talk normally then.
Well, I am talking normally.
Keep going.
I'm going where? I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. I'm working, sort of.
Welcome to the podcast. Russell.
Woohoo! We're live, baby!
Oh, you just peaked.
Should we stop the podcast now then?
Russell's Russell's in a bad mood. Now, we're in a different situation. Now, I'm
Are you comfortable?
No, I'm not comfortable. I'm in a shitty, dirty chair in your dirty new office. I've got a dog that's been sniffing me since I walked in. There's weird people outside hanging around.
Right.
You've got your feet up on your desk.
It's my desk. I can put my feet up if I want to.
That's fine. I was in a good mood. I'm now in a semi-bad mood, and I'm not quite sure because... Well, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now. Last week, we did an amazing podcast with Party Marty, right?
I can tell you, you know how like your mood is... On a scale of 1 to 10, your mood now is sub-level. It's about to get worse.
Why? What are you going to do?
Leave the room.
I can't believe this. I've just started a podcast. So let me give you... All right, so Russell is actually... I'm not going to stop recording. And
in my defence, it's 10 o'clock.
Where are you going?
To talk to guys. And you told me you'd be here at 10:30. So
all right.
Hold that thought.
Fuck off. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast. Jay, it's good to see you. How you doing, buddy?
Thanks for coming back. Why are you so stressed at the moment? Is it anything to do with the fact that you're not allowed to drink Corona? That's my first Corona joke of the podcast.
Are there going to be any more?
I don't know. I don't think if I can think of any. Is it something that we're allowed to laugh at yet?
What, the coronavirus?
It's got serious now. Well, it was serious
before,
serious
for a while, to be fair.
It is.
It's seriously pissing me off.
Right. Well, tell us
I think it's pissing off a lot of people, to be fair.
Oh, we've got dogs
pissing off Sassy.
We've got dogs crying in the back. So we're a new location for our podcast today,
which you've done nothing but moan about.
No, I haven't. I mean,
to be fair, we're not sort of fully operational yet.
Okay,
we're not
hold
finished.
on. We should explain. So today we are doing a podcast with just Russell and myself because Russell's scared of having guests because he reckons we should have social distancing. So we are.
That's a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay, well you put it how you think you want people to... I don't know what the words I was looking for then. Let me drink my coffee.
You drink your coffee. I would just say, at the moment, being the responsible podders that we are, and given the current climate, it would perhaps make sense just to tell guests to fuck off for the minute.
But we could do it over Skype. Although I did actually think about this. Part of when we did start the podcast, I always wanted to do live face-to-face chats. I didn't want to do over Skype and stuff like that and just record them.
Together with people is much better, obviously.
But I think we're going to have to... we can't do... People aren't going to be interested in you and I jibber-jabbering. I mean, this one we might get away with. But next week, we're not going to get away with it. No way.
Well, it depends what's happened. And actually, speaking of in terms of the speed of changes, right? I was listening to a podcast. I was listening to our podcast with Party Marty.
Good one, that long.
Which was a great podcast. Good fun. But we were talking... The one thing that cropped up at one point was we were talking about the fact that we did it in the outro, that the Premier League might be cancelled that weekend.
Oh, it was. We
Mate,
foreshadowed it. You are Nostradamus.
yeah.
Holy
Not
crap.
only that, but that when I listened back to that, I was like, hang on a minute, that wasn't a week ago. That was fucking ages ago. But it wasn't. It was only a week ago. It was 6 days ago. Not even 6 days. The amount of changes that have happened in the last 6 days has been
Changes.
immense.
No, I think so. But are they changes? Okay, so this we are recording the podcast at Russell's new training facility, Canine Point Academy Resort, 5-star luxury resort in Russell's new office, which is a little bit like a
dirty room because it hasn't been swept and cleaned yet.
Yeah,
admittedly.
But it might be a bit echoey. So sorry if it's a bit echoey. Russell didn't think about making it soundproofing it for podcasters, and he didn't turn his phone off, and his ringtone is the Muppets, which is quite good.
It's phenomena.
But he might have to take this.
Call you back.
Oh, he's going to call them. Who are you going to call back?
A client.
Oh, I can't slag the person off then. No, Russell did his very sensible shaking his head at me so no one can see.
Yeah, perhaps on this particular moment, best not.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in your new facility, and we decided not to have a guest this week out of politeness.
Out of respect to the coronavirus.
Out of respect. We did discuss. I said so twice then.
So?
A needle pulling thread, far a long way to go. Me a drink with jam and bread.
So apart from yourself
and that
losing
brings
your
us
mind,
back to
which
do
is
do do
really
do.
new. What's your take on the San Miguel virus?
Okay, so since we last did the podcast, let's tick the things that have happened. Schools have officially closed in
Correct.
Thailand for a minimum of 2 weeks.
Yep.
However, we'll stick on schools for now. That minimum of 2 weeks is fine, but then straight after those 2 weeks is what was the Songkran holiday break. So that could be a month holiday for children. However, some schools are saying, right, we'll do the 2 weeks off, and then you can come back, and that's your Songkran. So you just bring Songkran holidays forward.
Well, my understanding is Songkran had the holiday days. It's not just the parties that they've cancelled. They've cancelled the holiday.
That's pretty
and
good.
have said that they're going to move those dates to later in the year.
So
it's a working day. It's a normal day.
Now, isn't Songkran technically Thai New Year?
Correct.
So
Well,
does that?
technically, it is Thai New Year.
Okay, so does that mean that we're having a longer year this year?
Yeah.
How does that? No, I'm serious though. You can't just move New Year and say, do you know what? Yeah, we'll just move the dates. I understand, right? When they say, right, we'll stop Songkran and we won't have. For those who don't know, or you probably do know, because most people listen are based in Phuket. But Songkran is a big water blessing ceremony to bring in the new year, and you cleanse yourself, and it's turned into a massive water fight, which is very, very cool. But obviously with the current situation of viruses, which is pretty much spread by spit and snogging, Songkran water fights probably aren't the best thing to have. So that's cool. But I don't understand them changing the dates for the new year.
No, it would be like in the UK if this was happening over Christmas and New Year. Instead of it being public holidays they're in isolation anyway, but they're just saying the public holidays, the days off work, aren't counting. So it will be a normal working day. Obviously, New Year it's the 13th. It's on the day. That's not going to change. But in terms of it's just going to be a normal operating day. And later in the year, there will be the public holidays that people can actually physically enjoy.
Even though a lot of places are closing down now anyway.
Correct. But Thais don't need much of a nudge to throw in an extra holiday here and there.
I don't think anyone needs I'm happy to have an extra holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so schools have shut down. So my two little monsters are at home.
How are you finding the homeschooling?
It's difficult for me because
they're a level above you.
Yeah, their phonetics is so much better
They
than
can
mine.
spell.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck.
I'll be honest with you, as a single parent, now I find it quite difficult because a lot of the stuff they've set up you can do online, which is fine.
Yep.
But if I'm not there with them, their 78-year-old Thai grandmother is not going to be able to kind of teach them the English side of things. So it has been. So I've been picking them up in the afternoons and the evenings and then spending time with them doing that, which obviously puts me under a bit of pressure because although I work during the daytime, I do a lot of my work for most clients in the evening when I'm at home. So that has put me under a bit of pressure. But is their schooling that important when they're 7 or 8 and 5? Listen, we can get away with it right now. I feel sorry for the ones who are coming up to their GCSEs and their A levels and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
That's where I think it's a little bit more serious. For me, I can get away with just teaching them about. I mean, Zahara at the moment, my 8-year-old, her learning thing is all about fractions and learning about fractions. Well, that's great. We just buy a pizza. And bang, we've got but it's a great way to learn about fractions. I said to her yesterday, you got 10 slices of this pizza, you have 2 slices.
When you say pizza.
Yeah, no, I mean
when
pizza.
We're talking fractions.
No, I'm not talking. How does pizza and dope come together? How does that work?
Well, I'm fairly confident after a smoke you'd want something to eat.
I don't know. I've never smoked marijuana.
No, I was
in my
just
life.
saying,
I mean, allegedly, I've never smoked it in my life.
Somebody would be rather peckish after that.
Pizza's not my go-to thing, actually. It wouldn't be my go-to thing.
I tell you what, I do agree and I've got friends that have got kids that are about to go into GCSEs and IB and all of that. And the education secretary in the UK has just said that they're planning to cancel exams this year. Just bosh, they're not happening. So, and they're going to give grades to the students. I mean, how they're going to bench that, and I've no idea.
See, that's an interesting concept because I would do quite well then because I was very good in class with class projects, and I was shit at exams.
Exactly.
In fact, I got my.
I would have been pleased with this situation.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we're making light of it, but yeah, I would be as well.
I tend to find though also. I mean, there's a lot of people. Obviously sort of complaining, well not complaining, but sort of getting a bit miffed with the whole homeschooling and that, and that they're missing out on a couple of weeks or a month of school. And I'm not being funny, right?
No, you're not very often.
No, I know, but how much are they really going to miss? If there was no school between now and September, are you telling me that those kids are done for life and they're just ruined? Absolutely not. And there's so much that kids could be like real life stuff that kids could be learning now.
I think so. And I think that the biggest thing about it for me is...
Although I should say I don't have kids, so...
No. And I think it's just a timing factor. I mean, we're all very, very, very worried. We're all very worried about our jobs. We're all worried. I mean, as a consultant, I'm really concerned. I've got clients that are outstanding payment for me, and I don't know if I'm going to get that money. If I don't get that money, it's going to be really, really difficult. I think... So from the homeschooling, it does put a lot of pressure on you. A lot of pressure on you because you've already paid for this education, so that money's gone. So you don't have that fund to go and say, right, we need to buy them lunch now. We need to get them this now. We need to find stuff for them to do. There is an investment. You're right. Families can go. I mean, I would love to not work, and I would go and take my kids over to the field and we'll do all sorts of learning. We'll go and collect butterflies and rip their wings off, and stuff like that. Get some kittens and see how many it can fit in a bag and, and throw it and see what weight you need to kill.
Have you seen Don't Fuck With Cats, by the way?
No.
Right, okay, we'll come on to that later then.
Zahara asked me last night if we could have a cat, which I said no to. I said
watch
cats are
Don't
arseholes.
Fuck With Cats first.
Will she like that?
No, it's not for her.
Okay, fair enough. So look, they do. What I like about it is, and then fair play to the teachers at KIS. They've been doing little videos and they've been reading books and sending it through. So that's great. So listen, that's fine as long as you have access to an iPad and access to internet. Now, I'm not saying that that seems silly, but my kids didn't have an iPad. I mean, I gave them my work iPad. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I let them borrow my iPad.
Yeah.
But obviously, I need that at certain times as well.
Sure.
So listen, it's not that there's other people in the world that are going through shit compared to my kids who, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely fine. It's just a little bit of a pain. I think from the point of, especially as a consultant and from any small business, that businesses that you're working for need to take into account and not go, do you know what? Right, we're not paying because we're in a world of trouble. And I think this is fair for everybody is, look, pay your bills now. I know it's going to be tough for the next month or so for everybody, but I don't think you should leave people out there.
But here's the
thing. And that's me saying to everyone, pay me, please.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same for me. Obviously, Songkran, Easter holidays, and obviously looking ahead, leading into summer, for me is a very, 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 very busy time. It's part of the reason I've built this thing to accommodate for the business.
This is a lovely facility, by the way, Russell, that K9 Point Academy now has.
It is lovely, and it is going to be great. But obviously, no one's going anywhere in the foreseeable, so I've had a lot of cancellations for Songkran and for Easter.
Sure.
And no one's making any future plans because obviously nobody can. And I get that. I understand it. So on one hand, I've got clients saying, like, I'm really sorry, we're going to have to cancel. I can't it's unfair for me to turn around and say, well, you know, how dare you? I'm going to hold back your deposits and all of this, because it's completely understandable with what is happening. The knock-on effect is then, well, what about my rent and my bills that I've got to pay?
Sure.
So, and equally from the landowners, they've got payments to make, and it all kind of goes up the tree. The difference, I would say, was somewhere here versus like if we're in the UK and they're just throwing stimulus packages into the market, same in the US. There's just money getting reprinted and thrown into the economy to trickle down to everyone to try and help everyone sort of float through. We're not seeing any of that here, and we certainly aren't seeing it for our market. Whether it's happening for local Thai businesses or not, I don't know. I doubt it, but it might be. I'd be surprised if it was, though.
No, I think you're right. And look, I think everyone should just be in this day and age. And look,
we're all in it together.
We're all in it.
I
know. I think you're right. And look, and at the end of the day, I think that I cancelled. I cancelled the burger competition, or I didn't cancel. I postponed it till September.
What, Glastonbury?
Oh, don't. You want to do this now?
Yeah, we might as well. Just to add a bit of light.
So,
can I tell you how it came about?
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously, I was listening to a podcast on the way back from the wedding yesterday, and two things sprung to mind. One is they were mentioning events and sort of events being cancelled, which obviously made me think of you. And I was like, yeah, it's a bummer because it's a good event. And I can't remember where. Oh, because Glastonbury is also being postponed. And the two things just came out almost at the same time. And you know how my mind works. It's a bit left of middle. It's a scary place to be. And I'm sitting in traffic and it just popped in there. Of course, Glastonbury. It's your festival. And the dead air on the podcast there.
So Russell phoned me up yesterday to tell me this.
I had a lovely chuckle in the car about this. I really did.
He came up. He goes, I got a great idea for you. I got a great idea. It's the best idea. And this is exactly what you like. It's the best idea.
It's
the best
amazing.
Idea. It's an amazing idea. And I said, okay.
I knew you were going to hate it.
And I said, can it wait till tomorrow for the podcast? No, I've got to know. You know, you've always wanted to have a festival for your burger competition. Well, what about calling it?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. What about
you like your music? Yeah.
Glastonbury.
I think it's genius.
At which point, I did acknowledge that it was a shit idea, a terrible name, and then I said to him that I was going to hang up on him. But I gave you good warning that I was going to hang up on you.
You did.
And I told you that I loved you.
You did.
I did tell you I wasn't happy about the situation with Mr. Fat Rob. That was brought up again. And at that point, I then said I'm now hanging up, and which I did hang up.
You did.
Yeah, it's a shit idea, Glastonbury.
Oh, mate.
No, it's terrible. It's a terrible. No, it doesn't rock. So anyway, yeah. So we've postponed the burger but on that note, I've refunded everybody who entered. Like everybody that I
Which is fair enough, yeah.
I gave them money back.
Can I just jump in here momentarily? Then, sorry, going back to schools.
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident KIS and other schools, of which obviously are available, aren't refunding parents.
Well, it's an interesting one, actually. I'm not sure how this will work. I'll be honest with you. My school, the kids' school, it's not my school, have been extremely good in this current situation. They've been the communication they've sent out, the messages, everything they've done. I've got nothing to complain about. They're in a tough situation, as are everybody that's in this boat right now. However, there is interest in if you can't go to school for 2 weeks because you're being told not to, who's got to take the hit for that? Now,
because you're doing the teaching.
Well, they are, yeah. I mean, okay,
I'm not trying to set schools up and say, oh, you've got to get the parents back. I'm just, as a genuine point, and this is in terms of the knock-on effects to absolutely everyone and everywhere. And if it's a couple of weeks, fine. If it turns out there's no school between now and, say, September, October, or what have you, for whatever reasons, well, obviously we know the reason. If it goes on sort of that length of time, obviously given the fact that there's a summer holiday in there, but that's a lot of school. It's like a term that you're missing out. So surely parents have got to be in a position to say, look, I'm not being funny. Or I'm sure the schools, like you said, like KS, are doing lots of videos. I'm guessing the teachers are doing sort of a lot of online work to, looking at what the kids are doing and back and forth. So they are engaged. It's not like the teachers have fucked off on holiday somewhere. So there is a bit of back and forth, but it's obviously not the same.
I think that we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think it's one
I
of these
think
things.
there's a lot of bridges that will be crossed way down the line.
And I think right now, it's not something I want to email school about and say, hey, I would 2 weeks I want my money.
And to be fair, you wouldn't. That's not, I don't think.
Well, I would.
Well,
I did last year.
Yeah.
I think that, in all fairness, the invoices have come through for term 3. And I know that I'm holding off paying for them until we know exactly what's going off.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, I think that's where it will come through. But look, at the end of the day, I think the schools are in a tough situation as well. However, I still, I don't totally understand shutting schools. 100%, I don't understand it, because for me, the school was the safest place for the kids to be. Everyone was tested as they go in there. Everyone not tested for the whole virus, but they were temperature tested and hands cleaned. Yeah. You knew that within the school grounds, but I guess it's the same thing with everyone. There's cleaners and there's workmen and there's other people that are wandering around that school. And look, unfortunately, I don't want it to become I'm nervous now when I go into places where there's people I don't know.
Right.
I'm meeting with clients still. I'm trying not to have too many face-to-face meetings with clients. I am going to go more online, which I can do. But I think that at the end of the day, this whole thing's affecting all of us. But I think let's not be negative. Can we brainstorm, you and I? Because I think the listener out there wants to know some ideas of what people can do to try to keep going. Because I think...
I've got 2 ideas for you.
Oh, well, hold on. I've got more than 2 because I'm better than you. I think that what we want to do is to try... There's always ways around certain... And you're in this situation, and it's how we're going to not just get out of it, but how we are going to...
How we're going to operate within
it. And I think that's the key thing. So at the moment, a lot of places are on lockdown. A lot of businesses can't operate or have been told not to operate, even though they're probably quite safe to operate. And that's, by the by. So what can businesses do? You said you had 2 ideas. Russell, give me one of your ideas.
I think people should bring their dogs here and let them run around and have some exercise.
Right, that benefits you.
Correct.
What's your second idea? Is it to benefit you as well?
Correct.
Okay, what's your second idea to benefit you?
They could come along too and we could do some training together. Just one-on-ones, not groups. Just
okay,
one-on-ones.
And here we go. Here's some ideas that I'm going to give you to do. Right. Now, you've always done a lot of videos, but now that you've got your training facility, it's now time to do more videos.
Correct.
Because what you don't want is too many people coming here. Now, I know you want to.
No, I mean, joking aside.
Joking aside. So what you should do... And this is something I talked to a few other of my companies about, especially they're in the service industry of such. They should now be, rather than people can't come to you, so you need to go to people. Now, the way you go to people is through podcasting, is through videos, is through emailing people, is through social media. Now, the issue with that, there isn't a financial gain for the business that's doing it. However... in the long run, there is a financial gain because what you're doing is you're keeping yourself in the forefront of people's minds. Now, for you, your dog training competition is probably, I don't know how many other dog trainers there are in Phuket, for example. Probably 2 or 3, if that.
At my level?
Well, there's a lot above you, but down at your bottom level.
Down at my bottom feeding level, yeah.
But no, in all fairness, there's probably only 2 or 3, if that. Okay, so that puts you in a very strong position. If you can then get out there and you can start showing people, even just frigging walking a dog, sitting a dog, and simple 15-second, 30-second videos. It doesn't cost you any money. You don't need to have spangled-dangled microphones. You don't need to have a spangled-dangled camera. You can do everything on an Android phone or an iPhone if you have one. Yeah. I don't have an iPhone. So that's one of the ideas I had for you. Now, but... And not just for you, let's look at other businesses as well. So if you're a restaurant business...
Before we
go on.
No, I was just going to say, and I agree with all of that entirely. And there's the follow-on thing is like, for me, I'm obviously at a new stage with my particular business. And at this stage, this is where I want to be spanking the market with a lot of marketing, a lot of promos and everything, which obviously I'm dialing back on because... there's not a lot of point doing it now and it would just get hidden in the white noise of everything being about the virus. Number 2, I agree totally with doing, and I'm going to just carry on doing what I'm doing by putting out, like I put a small video out yesterday about doing some swim training with the dog. And I'll do some other bits and pieces, just carrying on sort of as normal. I might just do a few more of them. But the other side to this is, as all businesses are trying to do, we're all trying to do things to keep awareness. But the key point is ultimately we've all got bills to pay. So it's a fine line, because on one level I want to say, look, jokes aside, the dogs aren't bothered about the virus. Dogs don't have to self-isolate. And we all know that dogs need exercise. And if we're all cooped up in our houses, can't walk the dog, can't run the dog, I've got a facility here that can help with that. Jokes aside. So I can go and pick up your dog, keep him for the day. We can have a run around the field, have a swim, give him a wash, bring him back. Great. I've got to charge for that. So, and yeah, I could do a reduced fee, whatever, just whatever it would be. On the flip side of that, if I'm going to you and saying, look, I'll do that for you, you're now looking at a situation was, yeah, that would be great because it would really help out with the dog. But at the same time, I've got contracts that are being cancelled. I don't know when I'm getting paid. And everyone's in that boat. So I don't feel hugely comfortable going out and saying, hey, I've got this service that I can offer you now, knowing that we're all in this boat thinking, I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to get paid next. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean, but the problem...
We've all got to live. We have
all got to live. And look, you're in a better position than I am, because you have a great facility where you can go and pick a dog up for, let's say, 500 baht, have him for the day. And now I know that doesn't sound a lot, but for 500 baht for the day, you can have your dog here at Russell's facility, just the dog. Russell trains a dog or lets the dog run around, has a great fun. It's a dog daycare. For 500 baht, once a week for the next couple of weeks, that isn't a lot of money to some people.
Yeah.
And in all fairness, if you've got a dog, you've generally, I know some of your clients, Russell, right? And so I can understand that. So that's a business opportunity for you that you shouldn't say, oh, I might not get paid. No, you should say, let's just do it.
Yeah.
A daycare, a doggy daycare is a great idea that you've just come up with right now. And to turn around and say, oh no, well, they might not get paid, so I don't really want to. No, fuck it, just go and do it. Because that's the key thing is, you're right. I've seen so many restaurants post, oh, we'll give 25% discount for delivery, 25% discount for delivery. They're posting that on social media. Sod that. Do a video of cooking something and then say, you need to get people's... You need to be creative and juices flowing. You really do.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Although in a coronavirus time, perhaps not.
Don't have beer. But I think that, you're going to have to give away stuff for free. Like, for example, I'm talking to Blue Tree, who's one of my biggest clients, and I said to them, right, now it's the time for us to get into people's faces. Yes, people can't come and see Possible Chaos live on stage, but what we can do is we can set up an acoustic live lounge session. I will film it and we can just live stream it. Are we going to make any revenue from it? No, we're not. But we're going to keep out there. We're entertaining people. Yeah. We're trying to, show that there's some love. We're not posting, oh my God, Dr. Ken said you can't do this and this is wrong and stop spreading fake news and the earth's dying and I've lost my job and I've done this. Fuck off with all your bullshit stuff, negatives. Okay? I'm scared, right? I got 2 young kids. My parents are 70 years old in the UK. I'm scared about them.
Without being funny, are you genuinely scared about the virus itself?
No, I'm not scared about the virus itself.
Or the social dysfunction that follows it?
No, I love the social dysfunction. I'm worried that from a business point of view, I'm worried that I can keep living. Mm-hmm. I'm worried that I can pay my bills. So what I'm trying to do is get creative and get different and give people different ideas to go and do stuff. And I think, for example, there's a kids club that I'm talking to. Mm-hmm. Right, okay, kids can't go out. Well, why don't you give us a 2-minute arts and craft video of stuff that we can do at home?
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. And also, why don't you then give little packs, and at the end of the video say, look, if you want to make this, we will deliver the equipment to you for 250 baht, no problem at all. We'll deliver it to your house. Bang, you can go and do that arts and craft. You think, oh yeah. And it's a great way to keep doing. You have to get creative.
And it keeps the name and the brand.
And it keeps the name and the brand and the image going. And it's every business can do this. Now, there is a lot of white noise out there. And every business is now trying to, every restaurant, like I said, is saying, we deliver, we deliver, we deliver. I don't like liver personally, so that's no good for me. I'm a chicken kind of guy.
Chickens have
others. They've got to get creative. Do a cooking class online and then say, right, we'll send you these ingredients.
Yeah.
We will send you 500 or whatever the price is. We will send you everything you need to do this thing. It's a frigging phone. It's not... Look, okay, we could get Peter V. James Motion and Stills to come in a video. A very professional photographer, a very professional videographer, great with what he can do. right?
But
right now,
yeah.
that telephone that I'm holding up right now that's telling me that we've been talking for the last 26 minutes is all you need. I've got some spangled microphones. I mean, we're sitting here in my 11,000 baht beautiful red box, which we use for the podcasting. We don't need all this. We could podcast. I mean, that's the thing. We should be doing more podcasting. I actually think we should double up our podcast in a week. We need to give people stuff to do.
You said a minute ago we wouldn't get away with this twice in a week.
What, with what?
Oh, that's just us. We need guests.
Oh, well, like I said, I'm going to go Skype. We're going to do Skype next week. You know, we will do another one. We will go out of the... You have to come out of your comfort zone. You have to think outside the box. We don't make any money from this podcast.
Do we not?
It costs me... In fact,
What?
it costs me money.
Is that why my invoices haven't been paid?
Exactly. It costs me money to do this podcast. I have to pay for the hosting. I have to pay for the equipment. I have to pay for everything. It's the petrol to come in to find you. It's buying you cans of Coke every week, which I haven't bought today. But joking aside, I'm doing it because it's a marketing tool for me. It's a marketing tool for you, for your business. And also, we're there to support the local community. That's bullshit, isn't it? We're not supporting the local community. It's about me saying, hello, I'm Jayleshark and I'm amazing.
But I'm going to sit on the fence with that one.
Okay.
We do a little bit of...
But promo. I think from a business point of view, we all are in the same boat, okay? And yeah, we all have bills to pay. But right now, why don't we drop prices a little bit, okay? Rather than putting prices up, which I know that some people do, which is bonkers crazy. But help each other out. Maybe there's barter deals to be done. Maybe there's different ways to do it. Yeah, we've all got bills to pay. We know that. But let's try to help each other out. Think outside the box. And if anyone's got any great ideas, put them out there. Put positive stuff out there. I don't need to know how many people are dying, or I don't need to know, like I said, I'm getting really pissed off with people putting news articles up. I don't know half these, and I don't care.
And what's annoying me, and I've had this recently, there's so much fake shit out there, and
there's a lot of fake boobs.
There's a lot of fake boobs. I don't mind fake boobs. I don't mind fake boobs in the slightest. Fake news I don't particularly like, but fake boobs.
Why don't you like fake Jews? Is that because you're a Jew yourself and you?
Yes, I just prefer real ones.
Okay.
The ones that like to hit la
la la la la la la la la. Sorry, I
can't
believe I got religion.
Hell of a gear change.
From being quite serious and trying to come up with some creative ideas, I've gone to start singing.
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Where were we?
I don't know. You were talking about fake news.
So, there's obviously a lot of that kind of going around, and people just sort of taking memes and taking news stories and just reposting without doing this. And this isn't specific to the coronavirus. This has been going on for years. And just you take a headline, and a simple Google search of that headline will tell you whether it's fake or not. For 99% of these cases. And people are just saying, if somebody posted that, I'm going to repost it because it must be true. Or I think it's true, so I'm going to repost it. And this is non-specific to Corona. This is fucking everything. And I just think now because we're in this shitstorm and so focused on it, and we have to be trying to take in the news at the moment. We have to be looking to other people for help and advice and guidance, because this is really quite serious from a health level, potentially, right? So you need to make sure that the news that you're getting is, I hope to say, in some way slightly accurate. And the stories that are being published, and so, someone said this, so this must be true. You should gargle Listerine and you'll be absolutely fine because it sits in your throat. It doesn't get into your system for a few days. It's like, for fuck's sake, just fuck off.
Oh, I've never heard the Listerine one.
Right. It's just, we could spend 5 minutes on Facebook and come up with a shitload of things to do. And this is where our complete love of social media falls down, because that's where a lot of the problems are. And this is what I also mean in terms of the virus itself. Yes, it's dangerous. It's not great. It's not exactly like it's anything healthy. It's not good. But it's very manageable. What's worse for me is the social dysfunction that follows it, the hype on social media, which gets fueled into the mainstream media, and it's just that vicious circle. Everyone kind of goes into major panic mode.
Sure. I mean, but humans are sheep. And
no, sheep are sheep and humans are humans. Meh.
The Welsh like sheep.
Meh.
Should we just slag off the Welsh for a little while? No, I think that... Look, the bottom line is, we all know that there's tough times ahead. Let's all knuckle down. Yeah, let's all knuckle down. Let's be nice to each other.
Do you want to cuddle?
No, I don't want to touch you at all. I'm going to cuddle one of your doggies in a minute.
Okay.
Because dogs can't catch it. And you could bring your dog here for a day if you want. Russell will come and pick them up for 500 baht. Is 500 baht too low?
Probably.
750.
That'll do.
All right.
That's fair enough.
For 700, this is it. For 750 baht, Russell will come and pick your dog up as long as it's not past Central.
So depending
That's too far.
Geographically, depending on where you are. Yes.
Oh, now he's changed his mind. I come up with great doggy daycare. But let's seriously on that note, the brainstorming of different ideas for different businesses, I think, is really important. Like I said, entertainment venues is difficult, but video your guys doing stuff. Do some cool stuff. Be positive. Share some ideas of what you can do. For example, I'm going to do a composting video with the kids this weekend about how kids can go and compost. I'll show them walking around my garden. I'll show them all the different plants that we're growing. Compost, you can do composting at home now.
We do.
I know you do. But I'm saying that, there's things that you can do that are, you can showcase different things. You can I'm just trying to get people creative.
Sure.
You sit back. Nothing's going to happen. You need to, go. There is a lot of white noise. Go above that white noise. Cut it out. Come on, Phuket.
We can do this.
But we can do this. Look, it'll be. I don't think it's as crazy bonkers as it could be for Phuket as for other countries around the world. Okay, I just driven around today or this morning, and people are still kind of doing normal things.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot less traffic.
There's a lot less
traffic,
traffic,
which is nice.
But look. There are positives. I mean, I don't want to talk about dolphins swimming in Venice because I friggin' hate dolphins and I think they're overrated bastards. Right? If you're a dolphin lover, you can don't even excuse my French. Fuck off dolphins. Right? You're arseholes. Dolphins are arseholes. No, they're
they
not.
Shouldn't be in tanks.
Dolphins are arseholes.
Great, then let's get them out of the tanks and put them in the ocean where they should be and
just
leave them be.
More dolphins in tanks so we can prod at them and we can make them do silly tricks for fish. That's what I say. Fuck dolphins. Anyway,
I don't say that. This is Russell speaking. I'm disagreeing
I can edit all this and I'll make it so that it's not Russell speaking. Russell said he hates dolphins. But on a positive note, that the environment is coming back. There's less traffic, there's less airplanes in the air, which means it does give the Earth time. It's almost like a reset button. We're almost going Control-Alt-Delete, on your computer. Have a bit of a reset. And sometimes that's a good thing. It cleans up some shit out of your computer. And it'll clean up some shit out of the world.
It would be interesting to see what whether there's this was also on the podcast, whether there's an immediate...
Are you just repeating other people's podcasts?
Yeah, because it works.
Okay.
Whether there's the jury's out now, because no one knows where this is going and how long it's going to last and what the impact's going to be long term. But is there going to be that immediate bounce back? So all of a sudden tomorrow the news is, all right, the coronavirus is gone, we've sorted it, everything's fine, there's a vaccine, no dramas whatsoever. Does everyone suddenly go, oh, thank fuck for that. Right, let's get a party together. We've got to get some food. We've got to get some beers. Let's go and buy that sofa we've been talking about. Let's go and do stuff and just re-stimulate the economy straight off the bat. Or is it more of a case of people saying that we've been hunkered down for so long, we don't have any savings, we've spent money on this, that, and that. I haven't had any income for the last few weeks or months. So there's a very slow trickle back effect into the economy. And then it's the bigger picture in terms of, like, you're right, there's a lot less cars on the road, there's a lot less planes in the air. Is now a good time to say, well, before we just go full throttle again, why don't we just dial this back and say, is there a way of managing things a bit better? Because now would be the time to do that, because we're starting almost from zero because we're not doing anything.
I think on a small scale personal business level, and
very easy to do
is to just go, to
restructure the airline industry.
Reset, and I think it will change a lot of people's lives. I think as an overall kind of bigger picture, I think it will just, I don't know when, but in my humble opinion, which is worthless in all fairness because it is just an opinion, I think it will just go back to normal.
Pretty sharpish.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day. But I just think overall it is going to just go back to normal.
You're going to cough are you going to start sneezing? Are you sure you're not infected?
I have just sneezed, but I've done it inside my t-shirt, and I'm going to keep it in there so that the small water droplets from my nasal passage, nasal passage, I said.
Yeah. Didn't come across well on the microphone, but anyway.
So there you go. I think that.
So all in all,
I've just had a message actually that someone's going to pay me today, which is nice.
All in all,
yeah,
it will be all right in the end. And if it's not all right, it's not the end. And yes, I've stolen that as well.
Listen, like
you honestly want to know what my big concern is? genuinely.
Sassy crying on our podcast.
No, it's more about the health of Tom Hanks.
He's all right. He's got Wilson.
Well, he and his wife have also got coronavirus, and they're in Australia.
That was ages ago, wasn't it?
I know. We haven't heard anything since, so I just want to make sure the guy's okay. If Tom Hanks dies,
no, Russell,
as far as I'm concerned, we're done.
I do like Tom Hanks. He was great in Big. Show my age. I am more upset about the post you put up yesterday or the day before, and I think I don't think it's funny. I think everyone needs to take a step back. And yeah, things are closing. Bangor Road's closing. It had a good scrub down. In all fairness, it probably needed a good scrub down. One day's scrubbing is not going to clean that place.
It's not going to make the slightest bit of difference, but it's better than not having it at all.
Absolutely.
And as I mentioned, it's not the physical buildings that are carrying most of the viruses, I dare say.
And joking aside, there are many people that do work in Bangor Road that are
genuinely out of pocket.
That are genuinely out of pocket. So, joking aside, it's great that Bangor Road gets a clean up, but just, please, let's try to all work together. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in, even if you're playing ping pong or you're just there for a couple of hours or 30 minutes, whatever you do.
But hey, just dialing back a second again, talking about sort of doing a big reset. I mean, that's another example, right? I mean, Bangor Road's been crying out for a bit of a cleanup and a reset since the day it started. So they've managed to close it completely. It's shut.
Yeah.
Right, and so maybe now is a good time to say, right, why don't we just get in there and redo all the electrics, put all of the wires underground, just do some work, clean the place up and tart it up before we just go straight back to normal. Well, it's things like that I think also...
No, I think that's the thing. It's looking outside the box. Now, I know that Blue Tree have...
There's a lot of outside the box.
Well, no, let's go back to what I posted yesterday.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I cut you off.
So there are a lot of good things that have been, done and cleaned up. But your post yesterday you put up, I actually thought was a little bit...
horrifying?
It was inappropriate. And I don't often...
It's factual.
I don't often get upset with you, apart from... I do get pissed off with your rants.
It was a factual statement.
So Russell decided to laugh at the fact... that the Eurovision Song Contest has been postponed or cancelled for this year. Mm-hmm. I'd like to apologise to every gay, lesbian, transgender...
LGBTQAYZ.
All the LGBT alphabet letters. I am so sorry for your loss. Mm-hmm. I'm there for you.
It's tragic.
And Russell and I will be recreating the Eurovision Song Contest at Russell's Canine Dog Facilities... Canine Point Academy here in Phuket, which you can come for a doggy daycare for 750 baht, depending on where you are located in Phuket.
That's just giving me an idea. We can discuss that off pod.
Are we really going to do Eurovision Song Contest? You'd love it. Get on your twinkle your ivories, mate.
I'm not being twinkle the ivories. I'm not being funny, but Eurovision as a brand and as a name has got to move on.
Why?
Well, England's in it, and we're no longer in the Euro. For a start.
Israel's in it.
Israel's in it. Kazakhstan and Australia.
It's got nothing to do with its TV rights. It all comes down to TV. It's a TV thing.
It all comes down to money.
Yeah, TV rights. Same as the Premiership does. It all comes down to money. So you can let people in as long as you've got the rights to show it in your own country. That's how it works. I love Eurovision. Don't knock it. It's great. Eurovision parties are great. Honestly, the amount of bum sex I was getting at Eurovision... And I'm not getting no bum sex this year. That was a joke. Allegedly, I've never had bum sex.
We can edit that one out as well. We used to have great Eurovision parties at uni.
Exactly.
It was all good fun. But now it just kind of drags on a bit now. It's all a bit shite.
Yeah, no,
bit on this podcast.
40 odd minutes, this, talking about coronavirus. But look, okay, so I think we will get back to guests next week.
Okay.
On Skype. I'm very happy to do it on Skype, unless we get someone in here who's fully tested and not...
Or we could put them in the other room.
That's true.
And just run the microphone cable.
We can do that.
We could do that.
But bottom line is, listen, Phuket. Russell and Jay say we're all going to be fine, but let's all please work together. Let's all help each other out. And if we I know money is tight for everybody.
And pay our bills.
Yeah. Pay Russell.
And we'll all be fine.
Pay Jay. But listen, if you do want, and I'm going to offer this out there, as a creative consultant from Shark Productions is what I do for a living.
You're going to offer free 20-minute phone consultations.
Absolutely. No, I will offer more than free 20-minute. If people want to phone me up, tell me what their business is, I will come up with some ideas, some simple not cost-saving ideas, some simple ideas that don't cost a lot of money, cost-effective ideas that can help their business out. All right? And I promise I'll do that for free. I'm not going to charge on for it. you can just give us it's jayleshark@gmail.com. I'd give you my phone number, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Do you not?
No.
It's like the one
Do you know my number?
The one number I do know off the top of my head is my own.
Oh, you don't know my number?
No, I haven't. It's Jay the Shark. Actually, I think in your... Actually, it's Jay the Goldfish in my phone.
Am I?
Yeah.
You're Russell with one L in my phone.
That is sacrilegious.
I know. I'm going to give you it's right. Get a pen. This is radio advert gold. Get a pen.
Wait.
Write this number down. They can't hear you writing. 086 943 7840. That's 086 943 7840. Not
zero.
Don't you fucked it. 086 943 7840 is my number. Or drop me an email, jayleshark@gmail.com. I'll very happy give you some free creative ideas of how your business can be creative and be different and rise above the rest during this time of the machines. And then Arnold Schwarzenegger comes in and kills us all. That's a film.
What 3 films, seeing as people are being stuck at the house, what 3 films should people watch?
The Wrestler.
Oh, that's a great show. That's the Mickey Rourke one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a brilliant film, that
It is. I'll tell you what, it is the closest film. Oh, no, it's not, but it's one. It's real wrestlers who've watched it have said it's pretty much their lives. Wrestling with My Family is another good film you can watch with Paige and The Rock.
Yeah.
Paige is hot, man.
Duh.
And the other one would be Beyond the Ropes.
I'm sensing a bit of a theme.
A wrestling theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little one. Or you could do Over the Top with Rocky. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Put your cap on backwards, fingers on top. Was it thumb on top? I can't remember.
Driving the truck with the...
That's the one. Yeah.
Excellent. That'll come across well on the podcast.
The original Tron was a really good
The original Tron was great.
Do you know what we watched last night with the kids? We watched...
No, because I wasn't there.
Oh, that's right, because you're not invited round, because don't have people at your house. Unless they're hot. We watched Surf's Up 2, which is a penguin surfing movie, which is great, and it had all the wrestling characters in it. So that was good. Excellent. They were watching that this morning as well when I dropped them off. All right, Sass. Sassy's crying. She wants to go out for a wee. We need to wrap up. Should we do an outro? That's a great pod, that, Russell.
Jay, I thought that was one of our top.
Why are we doing this outro bit?
Because you just said you would do an outro, and I was like, well, it's your pod. If you want to do an outro, we'll do an outro.
Well, look, thank you very much for listening to Jayleshark and Friends.
And Russell.
Podcast. We will be back next week with a guest. I think we're going to do Jo Barnes, because we can do her on Skype, so to speak. That sounds dodgy, isn't it? In fact, there was talking of wrestlers, there was a wrestler once that used to do a Skype chat, and if you paid her through her PayPal account, she would take parts of her clothing off. I'm not sure Jo Barnes is going to do that, right? And I'm not.
Just give me an idea, Jay.
And this is not one of my creative business ideas, or maybe it is.
Or maybe it is
for the people in Bangla Road.
Yeah.
Why not? We've all got to make money somehow.
Yeah.
There's desperate guys out there like me that will pay to see your boobies. Not Jo Barnes' boobies, by the way. Well, she has got nice boobies. I'm digging
a hole.
Yeah.
You know the outro we shouldn't have done.
But anyway, on the serious note, make sure if you do want your dogs walked or trained or come and have a day at Russell's facility,
you can give us a call.
Give Russell a call.
091 654 1960 or drop us an email info@caninepointacademy.com.
Or just go to the bottom of this description and click on the links there.
That would be a better way
But the
to do
doggies, we can look after your doggies, and for creative ideas, as I said, just once again, just drop us a message, and Jay will offer free creative ideas for your business. And like I said, I'm not sure they'll make you money or not, but what they will do is they'll keep you above the precipice of death and doom.
That's a nice little tagline. I think we should finish on that.
I'm just happy I got the word precipice.
I'm not sure it's the word you're looking for.
No?
Precipice.
All right. I'm going to go and press my pits. Thanks, Russell.
Love you. Bye. Glastonburger.
You're a dick.